You're listening to Let's Talk, the SQPN community podcast. Hi, I'm Dom Bettinelli, and today I'm joined by Andrew Hermiz. Hello, Andrew.
Hi Dom, how's it going?
Very good, thanks. I think your video is frozen, although in a good, you're
Oh,
smiling way. But so
great. At
maybe
least we got
if
that.
yes, yeah, thank you, Skype. So I don't know, maybe turn off your camera and turn it on again or something in Skype. See if that helps. But
Okay.
we'll see if that works. But while you're doing that, I want to tell folks you can catch Let's Talk Live on Facebook today, tomorrow, and then at some point after that, we're here at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, and then we put it in the Let's Talk podcast feed as audio and on the SQPN YouTube channel as video. So, Andrew, thanks for joining me. Even though I can't see you talking, I have this nice picture of you up on my screen. How's your Easter week going?
Easter week's going great. I mean, my Easter weekend turned out, to be real nice, all things considered.
Yeah.
Um, on Saturday we, as a family, just watched the Vigil Mass, and we had a nice dinner. And on Sunday we actually surprised my parents and my in-laws by just showing up at their houses and honking the horn, and
Oh,
um,
nice.
yeah, did a little social distancing, little hangout, the outside of the house, outside of the houses. So it was nice getting to see everyone in person and not on, FaceTime, as we usually as we have been doing, and it was nice
Cool.
for them to obviously see, see their granddaughter. Um, that's really
Awesome.
all they
Yeah.
cared about. So,
Yeah. Right. Right. Right.
but yeah, it's been nice. But yeah, I enjoyed Easter Monday off, and um, then it was back to trying to work out the craziness of work life and home life.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So we don't even have your picture now. So let's kill the call, and we're gonna restart the. We'll keep the feed going, but I just want to call you back and see if we can get you live on the screen here. So I'm gonna kill the Skype call and restart it. Okay.
Sounds good.
This is live podcasting here, folks. Uh oh. So let's try that again. And okay, well, I'll keep trying while we have him here. So, folks, while I'm doing that, I want to mention that we've got some great shows coming up this week on SQPN. I've got today we're going to be releasing Secrets of Technology, where we have a great episode where we're talking to Pat Scott and Thomas Senurho, and we're covering some of the latest news surrounding uh, the the way that big tech companies are responding to some of these the virus issues. And one of the things is that Apple and Google working together on developing a technology for contact tracing, which is the whole thing of keeping track of whoever, the people that are um, when they come positive as with the virus, who did they come into contact with? And because we're all carrying our smartphones around with us every day, this is a way of saying, okay, what other smartphones were near these smartphones? And we discussed the privacy issues and the implications and some of those things like that. Oh, looks like we got Andrew coming back. And
All
hello,
right.
Andrew, there you are. All right, awesome.
Okay.
uh,
Hopefully Skype works now. All right.
all right. Yeah. And I was telling folks about our what we've got coming up on SQPN this weekend. One of the things what we talked about on Secrets of Technology was the how well the infrastructure's been holding up. Uh, it, Pachi, this particular call, but in general, we were saying, call out kudos to all the tech people out there, all the IT folks, all the sysadmins and server administrators who have been keeping all the websites up, all of the Zoom calls, all that stuff has really kind of worked pretty well given what restrictions we're in. How has your connection to the internet been in general, apart from this call?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what's happening right now, but in general, yeah, it's been great. As far as my home internet, I know it's better than maybe the average households. We have a fiber connection,
Oh, nice.
um, and a pretty good internet plan. So anything dealing with video conferencing or I'm doing video production, on my end for Catholic Answers, and having to work remote. It's great too because I'm having to upload large files, a lot of the time, and
Right.
that's all been working great. It's actually uh, working out a little better than than the office. So
That's funny.
yeah, so it's nice, and yeah, with technology now, like I'm able to live stream, like we live stream our Catholic Answers show daily, and from time to time, if I'm producing the show remotely from home, so I'm connecting to two
Yep.
guests remotely, and broadcasting it over YouTube, Facebook, uh,
Wow. Yeah.
and Catholic.com. So it's really amazing how I'm able to accomplish pretty much you know 95% of what I do at home. So it's
Yep.
worked out pretty well.
That's pretty awesome. I'm thinking about Secrets of Star Wars, which you're on with everyone else. And one of the bits of news that came out was that Disney Plus is going to have premiering on May the 4th a new 8-part documentary series about the making of the Mandalorian. And I'm thinking they had to have been putting this together kind of at home, like a lot of these
Right.
guys, editors and stuff like this, like kind of like what you're doing. So it's kind of amazing to think about how people are working from home, putting this special. I'm hoping those special effects guys for The Mandalorian, Star Trek Discovery, and all these other shows I'm waiting for the next season of, they got good internet connections and good computers at home that they're working on to work on this stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure Disney hooked them up with some nice home setups. So
Yes.
I think their infrastructure is pretty solid.
Speaking of Secrets of Star Wars, May 4th is coming up very soon. That's a special Star Wars holiday. It's May the 4th. Get it? May the 4th be with you. That sort of thing. Well, we're planning a special live stream on May 4th. I forget what the time is. Do you remember the time
I
on
believe
that?
it's 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Okay, so 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. We're doing a live stream special show with the entire Secrets of Star Wars panel. We're going to have a live discussion, including viewers can write in with your questions and your comments, and then we'll have special questions and some fun Star Warsy type stuff to talk about. So and that Mandalorian documentary series is going to be the premiere that day, so maybe you guys might get a chance to watch at least the first episode of it and talk about it there too. So be sure to put it on your calendar, everyone. This May the 4th documentary. It's going to be May the 4th, a special live stream. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So be sure to check that out. So that's the Secrets of Tech, Secrets of Star Wars. And the other thing I wanted to mention that we got coming up, also releasing today, is a new episode of Secrets of Movies and TV Shows that I did with Steve Nelson, Father Michael Gossett. We talk about The Expanse season 4, which is out on Amazon Prime now, and we did an Expanse seasons 1 to 3 a couple of years ago, I think now, and so we talk about season 4. How well did the move to Amazon from Sci-Fi go, and how's the season? So that was a good episode. Little sneak peek. I talk about how I interacted with the producers of The Expanse, giving them my casting recommendations and how they responded to
Wow. Okay.
that. So you'll have to listen to find out exactly what happened there. So I just will leave that for you. So let's move things right along, I guess, given our Skype issues. But I do want to talk about my T-shirt of the day. Then we'll get to your recommendation for folks today. My T-shirt of the day. I'm going to do my usual stand up so you can see it. I don't have to stand up so hard. So this is a nice shirt. A friend of mine who used to be an Apple genius got this for me, and it says, "quote Siri, how do I get coffee stains out of a T-shirt?" Which is so appropriate for me because so yeah, he was an Apple genius, had been to the Apple campus in Cupertino for training, and brought this back for me. I have a long-standing reputation as someone who tends to spill things on my shirts, and in fact, if you've been watching the videos, the live streams, you've probably noticed that a lot of my shirts will have coffee stains or whatnot. In fact, at one job, it even acquired a word for that. They calling it doming yourself, which slightly embarrassing. So it's the beard. That's the thing. I always blame it on the beard. So I
Yeah,
love.
everything gets stuck in there and
I know it's such
drips
a
down. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. You got
I know how it goes.
exactly. Bearded men reunite we in our issues. So so that's today's T-shirt of the day. So Andrew, I want to turn to you then. What is your recommendation for folks that they should check out?
Yeah, well, I guess staying along with the theme of docuseries and documentaries, I have an interesting film, and also staying with the theme from my last recommendation, having to do with comic books. This has to do with a comic book movie that never happened. So I'm recommending a documentary called it's called "The Death of Superman Lives."
Oh wow.
What happened? Um, yeah, so it might be a film not a lot of people know about. It was this was a film that came out in 2015. It was and it was it's still self-distributed, and it was self-funded. It was a Kickstarter. It was made by a man named John Schnepp, uh, now the late great John Schnepp. If anyone was into the early days of YouTube and film critics, he used to be on a show called AMC Movie Talk, and he went on over to Collider, and did Collider Movie Talk, and had a, a show called Collider Heroes where they just talked about comic book movies.
Oh cool.
Um, so anyway, the film itself is a fascinating story about a Superman movie that never happened. It was supposed to come out in 1998, and it was going to be directed by Tim Burton, famous for
Yep.
Nightmare Before Christmas, and
In
every
the
Johnny
original
Depp
Batman,
movie.
right?
Yeah, and the original 1989 Batman, exactly.
Yeah.
And it was going to be produced by John Peters, who also produced the 1989 Batman and brought that to life. So, the studio was thinking along, the same lines as like, okay, well, this team, revived the Batman character, who before the 1989 movie was just known for really I mean, as far as film, like the Adam West,
Yes, the campy
movies, and
things. Yeah.
yeah, the campy stuff, and obviously the animated series. Um, and then with Superman, um, this was the person that they ultimately chose to star Superman, if you could believe it, was Nicolas Cage. So imagine that.
Oh
So
wow.
so so they were literally this close to making a Tim Burton directed film with Nicolas Cage starring as Superman.
Wow.
Um, yeah, and with Christopher Walken starring as Brainiac, one of the main villains. um,
Okay, Christopher Walken and Nick Cage. Oh, that would have been.
yeah, I mean, give me that movie now. I mean, come on. It's yeah, so it's really it's the story behind the film, like even though the film never came out, the story behind the film is obviously much better than whatever the movie would have been, because
Right.
I mean, when people check it out, I mean, you got there were three different writers. They had the budget for this was crazy. The whole movie started when John Schnepp, he got a hold of a photograph. I mean, this was pre-internet. We're
Yeah.
talking about when the movie was about to come out. He got a hold of a photograph of Nicolas Cage in the Superman suit, which looks horrendous. I mean, you can look it up now, obviously. Um, it became infamous, and then he made it his life's work to track down every major player that
Wow.
and sit down for interviews, and really the interviews are fascinating. John Peters, especially the producer of the film, just when you watch him, you just realize like this guy is just nuts. He knows nothing about comic book movies or comic books. This guy just wants every movie to be basically an Indiana Jones movie.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, for example, his criteria for the film was, oh, he doesn't want to see Superman fly, he doesn't want to see his suit, and he has to fight a giant spider at some point. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's so random.
and that's just a taste of the madness
Wow.
behind the story. So if you- it's I think it's you have to you can rent the film or buy the film directly from from the actual distributor because it's still being self-distributed. I think it used to be on HBO Go for a time, but not anymore. So if you just
Okay.
look up the movie, "The Death of Superman Lives: What Happened," um, you won't be disappointed.
I
And
think if that movie had come out, it might have killed superhero movies before they got going.
yeah, and then, yeah, another thing to consider is that this was obviously going to come out before there were cinematic universes. So this was
Yeah.
a time when comic movies were an afterthought, and were known to be, like you said, campy and lame,
Mm,
and usually have to wait like 3-4 years before one of these movies came out. So
wow.
we get spoiled with these films now every other month. Um, so it really was an interesting time, and to see how far they've come along in that genre is pretty amazing.
I'll have to check that
So
out.
yeah, some of the interviews, I'll have to say, just as a warning. I mean, there is some vulgar language, so
Yeah.
be aware of that. It might not be for all ages,
Yep.
but it's something worth checking out for sure.
Fascinating. I'm gonna have to look that up because I've never heard of that before. So that's now
Yeah.
something on my list of things to check out. Awesome. Well, I think that's about all we have time for today. I do want to take a moment to thank our patrons who make it possible for us to make Let's Talk and all the shows at StarQuest, like the ones we mentioned before. So you get the text, you get some of the Expanse that's coming out today. Another Jimmy Akin's Mysterious World tomorrow, so don't forget to check out that. You can join our patrons if you want to visit sqpn.com/give. And you can contact us by visiting sqpn.com or the StarQuest Facebook page, facebook.com/StarQuestMedia, or send us an email to let's talk at sqpn.com. Andrew Hermiz, thank you for joining me on Let's Talk.
Thank you, Dom. Thanks for having me, and happy Easter.
Happy Easter. And once again, I'm Dom Bettinelli. Thank you for listening to Let's Talk on StarQuest.